The Alaska SBDC has been operating since 1986 and has offices throughout the state of Alaska that serve for-profit small businesses. The way the structure works is we receive a federal grant from the Small Business Administration along with a grant from the state of Alaska. We are also part of the Business Enterprise Institute through the University of Alaska Anchorage, and we're employees of the university. The Alaska SBDC provides 3 primary services to small business owners: free, confidential, one-on-one business advising, small business workshops, and small business tools and referrals. To learn more about us or to register to become a client, please visit our website at www.aksbdc.org. I'm Stacy Stakar, Industry Specialist here at the Alaska Small Business Development Center, and I'm pleased to review this informative guide about opening a body art shop in Alaska. What you need to know to open a tattoo and/or piercing shop in Alaska. Please note that the text in green and underlined will take you to the link for that document. Before you take any other actions, you're going to want to check out the Alaska Small Business Development Center Starting a Business Workshop, and also ask yourself the 20 questions before starting a business to see if this really is for you. One of the first things is to determine whether you will lease a space, buy a space, or build a space for your shop. It's important that you research the costs. And the Alaska Small Business Development Center has tools to help you create financial projections and get started with basic bookkeeping. After you've done the research and you're ready to proceed, your first step will be to obtain licensing. And to own a shop in Alaska, you will need a shop owner's license through the Alaska Board of Barbers and Hairdressers. The application is linked here. And professional licenses if you are planning on working as a tattoo artist or piercer. A shop owner who is not a licensed practitioner, body piercer, tattooist, and permanent cosmetic colorist in the state of Alaska may not conduct business without employing a manager who is currently licensed in the state of Alaska. You'll need a state of Alaska business license, and there's a link here on how to get one. You'll need to choose your NAICS code, and we have provided that for you down below. And you may need to get a borough, municipality, or city business license where applicable. Before applying for a shop owner's license from the Board of Barbers and Hairdressers, you must meet Alaska Department of Environmental Conservation, DEC, requirements, including creating a bloodborne pathogens exposure control plan for the worksite with details on employee protection measures as required by OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration. You'll need to follow all statutes and regulations set forth by the Board of Barbers and Hairdressers and follow body art regulations. Posting signage on how to file a complaint against the shop with the DEC, and having your other licenses in order as mentioned on the previous slide. In addition to the requirements mentioned, a body art shop must also have a utility sink for disposal of mop buckets, hands-free hand wash sinks in each procedure room, floors and walls which are easily cleaned, no carpet or untreated wood. The next step is to fill out an application through the DEC and Division of Environmental Health, Food Safety and Sanitation Program for a public facility. You can find the required application on the DEC's body art page. Click on Application under the Forms header. If your facility is new or will be extensively remodeled, you must include with your application a plot plan of the entire premises, which includes the location of the buildings, refuse storage site, well or other water supply, waste disposal system, and fuel storage tanks, if applicable. You will also need a floor plan that includes the layout and purpose of each room, the type and location of lighting, the location of fixed equipment and plumbing fixtures, type and location of ventilation, both building and local systems, the material used to finish the floors, walls, and ceiling, size, construction, and design of fixed equipment, a plumbing schematic showing each hot, cold, and wastewater line, and locations of the restrooms, including the number of toilets and hand wash sinks. The last step in the DEC application process is to submit the plot plan and the floor plan to the DEC Drinking Water Program and the DEC Wastewater Program. Note, this step is not applicable if your water and sewer systems are municipal systems. For additional information, visit any one of the following links. Will your shop be in the city limits? Make sure that you cover all of your bases. You'll want to contact your local government agency, your borough, city, or municipality to see if they require their own permits or applications to open a tattoo shop based on your location. As a shop owner, you will need to carry at a minimum a general liability policy. A general liability policy is affordable. It protects your business from customer slips and falls, burglary and theft, and other general business risks. The Small Business Development Center has a workshop for business insurance for small businesses. You'll want to make sure you ask your provider about additional coverage that protects your tools of the trade, your business and or personal property. And in addition to general liability, consider carrying professional liability. Added to the general liability policy, it can be affordable and it protects against mistakes and wrongful actions. Note that some general liability plans include this coverage, but some don't. So it's important to know exactly what you're getting to ensure the proper coverage. In addition to business insurance, if you have employees, you will need to carry workers' compensation insurance. Business owners with no employees are usually exempt from workers' compensation. However, some contractors will still require owners to carry coverage. Workers' compensation covers employees' medical expenses in the event that they are injured on the job. It can replace lost wages. It may provide death benefits, could limit the probability of an employee lawsuit, protect your business from lawsuits, and it is required by state law. To register for taxes, you'll need to apply for an employer identification number or EIN with the IRS. If you're a sole proprietor without employees, your Social Security number can be used instead of an EIN, and you can skip this step. But your EIN will act as your business ID. It's also known as a federal tax ID or tax ID number, TIN. And you will need to have one to open business bank accounts, hire employees, and tax reporting. You can apply for an EIN on the website by clicking the link listed. Before opening, consult with an attorney regarding release of liability forms that must be filled out by clients prior to tattooing or piercing. Release of liability forms can help minimize the legal liability of the shop, the owner, and or practitioner in the event of the lawsuit. Aftercare instructions for tattooing, including eyebrows, as determined by the Board of Barbers and Hairdressers, must be provided to clients by state law. There's guidelines listed below. Your Alaska SBDC business advisor can refer you to a local attorney for more information. For operational setup, you're going to want to arrange for financing if needed. The SBDC has an SBA loans and what the lender requires workshops, and you can always talk to an Alaska SBDC advisor for more information. But you'll want to set up a business bank account and consider applying for a business credit card. You'll want to hire a bookkeeper or accountant if you don't want to fulfill those roles yourself, or purchase bookkeeping software such as QuickBooks. The Alaska SBDC offers a basic bookkeeping for entrepreneurs workshop to get you started. You want to research appointment point of sale software such as Square, Clover, Salon Iris, MindBody, Vargo, etc. This technology allows you to accept payment and schedule customers in one program. The next step will be to identify vendors and suppliers. Most Alaskan tattoo artists and piercers buy their supplies through online sources. Make sure you do your research. It's very important to know if your supplier is legitimate when purchasing tattoo ink and body jewelry. Look for guidance from a trusted colleague with experience purchasing supplies. Furnishings and fixtures will need to be ordered early to avoid a delay in opening. After you identify your location, you can begin to plan for a design and layout for your shop. You'll want to determine how many sinks, beds, chairs, and other furnishings you need and make sure you order them early. Some things can be found locally, like adjustable tables. But even if the supplier is local, most likely your furniture will have to be shipped from out of state and can take up to 6 to 12 weeks. While researching whether or not you were going to pursue opening a body art shop, you were asked to think about your niche. Who is your customer and what makes your service unique? Your niche market can be used to identify and develop your brand. Branding should begin before opening your shop and taken into consideration when picking out design, decor, and fixtures for your business to create a cohesive image. Consider hiring a professional to develop your logo and branding kit for print and online uses. Hire a branding specialist locally, or if that's not available or feasible, check out sites like Fiverr or Design Crowd. And once your logo and brand kit is complete and before opening, make a Facebook and Instagram account and start posting. If social media is not your thing, consider hiring a professional to manage your social media marketing. Ask your business advisor for a referral list to find a qualified provider. You should build a website. This can be hired out if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself. Order business and/or appointment cards and order rack cards with a list of services and pricing. Even if all of your artists are independent contractors, you may want to consider hiring support staff, such as a receptionist, to help you schedule appointments, collect liability waivers, manage inventory, collect payments, etc. Don't know where to start? Reference this checklist created by the Alaska Small Business Development Center to aid in hiring your first employee. This checklist will guide you through all of the essential steps before hiring your first employee. Use it to navigate the process through obtaining the EIN, obtaining workers' compensation, and learning what is required of you, and more. You can always get help from the Small Business Development Center. So after you've done all the research and you still have some lingering questions, make sure you reach out to them. The Alaska SBDC provides resources, workshops, and no-cost business advice. Assistance is provided by experienced business advisors and experts through on-site and/or online interactions or training, and at no cost to you, the client. Register below to work with an advisor. This last page has some additional resources that we thought might help you through this process. Thank you for joining us.